Grupo Metrópoli informa.
Corregir en esta última parte.
A little bit of everything.
Un poco de todo.
Let's go to the first row on the left-hand side.
Hi, Coach. Fernanda Vázquez, El Economista. The Spurs used to be such an international team, with Tony, Manu, Thiago, Bellinelli at the same time. It was, or it is, a part of the Spurs philosophy, or the Spurs picking them was just coincidence. And what do the foreign players bring to the Spurs organization?
Coach, soy del Economista, los Spurs ha sido un equipo internacional, hablando de Thiago, de Bellini. ¿Esto simplemente ha sido la filosofía del equipo o ha sido una coincidencia? ¿Puede hablar un poco más al respecto?
We didn't draft Manu because he was Argentinian, and we didn't draft Tony because he was French. We drafted them because they were what we thought could be wonderful players. We happen to have a lot of international players over the years because we felt that there were great players all over the world, and probably, just very few of us believed it at the time. So it looked like we were having the preponderance of foreign players, but now everybody has them for all the obvious reasons. As far as a team is concerned, I think having people from different backgrounds is a great opportunity for camaraderie, for people developing great relationships that makes players want to play together, play for each other. And so those differences in cultures and different places to grow up, I think, just adds to the whole experience for a basketball team, because you're trying to make a family, and that helps.
Bueno, realmente nosotros no hemos contratado a nuestros grandes jugadores, uno porque es argentino, el otro porque sea francés, sino porque son los mejores jugadores que consideramos para nuestro equipo. Para nosotros lo que es muy importante, y ahora todos los equipos también lo están haciendo, es traer a los mejores jugadores. Sentimos que esto trae camaradería al equipo, y estas diferencias hacen que las relaciones en el equipo se fortalezcan y agregan el que cada quien tenga diferentes culturas y que venga de diferentes países.
Fourth row on the right.
Coach, Luis Miguel Acevedo from ESPN. Couple questions. 2 years ago, Devin Booker had a night of 39 points here in Mexico City against your team. Today, you're not going to face him because of an injury. Does this change the approach? And the second one, yesterday you talked that a couple of friends would take you to a museum here in Mexico. Do you find the right museum here in Mexico?
Your first question.
Dos preguntas. Una es, hace 2 años Brooke hizo muchísimos puntos y bueno, ahora no va a poder jugar. Entonces ustedes están enfrentando un cambio o un enfoque de cambio de juego, y también pidió que se le llevara a un museo. ¿Encontró un museo de su agrado ahora en México?
Devin certainly demands special attention, but it doesn't change the game plan. It's still basketball. You still have to do all the things that you normally must do to win a basketball game. So when a player is out, teams just play their usual style. When I talked on your second question, when I talked to the press yesterday, I had no idea the game was at 4 o'clock. I honestly didn't know that. All I knew is that I wanted to get out of there to go to dinner last night. So when I found that out, it was all over. I mean, we had, team meeting at 10 o'clock this morning, and film, and eat breakfast, work out, and all of a sudden it's time to get on the bus. So very disappointing to come all this way and just play basketball.
Bueno, pues Devin, claro que requiere atención especial, pero estamos jugando un juego de básquet. Es un juego, si un jugador está fuera, de todas maneras nosotros tenemos que jugar el juego. Y en cuanto al museo, bueno, pues no tenía la menor idea que el juego era a las 4, y fue muy desilusionante para mí, porque a las 10 estábamos teniendo una reunión, desayunamos, entrenamos, nos subimos al camión y ya estamos aquí.
Front row and right. Go ahead, Tom.
Tom Orsborn, San Antonio Express News. Coach Williams talked quite a bit about what he learned from you. What are some of the things that you learned from him during
All of us learn from each other. I mean, Monty spent a lot of time in San Antonio as a player and as an assistant, and then, recently spent the whole year with us one more time, and he was in on all our coaches' meetings, and he had as much to say as I did, so, we learn from each other.
Bueno, realmente nosotros como coaches aprendemos uno de otro. Él aprendió de mí tanto como yo aprendió de él. Nosotros hemos estado juntos, nos hemos apoyado y realmente hemos aprendido mucho uno del otro.
Sixth row on the right.
Hi, Coach. Hector Laceri from Marca. You've been coaching all over the world with Team USA and here with the Spurs. You've been here in Mexico and also in France. Can you tell us which moment in basketball history has been the biggest to developing the international game?
Coach, usted ha sido coach en muchas partes del mundo, entre ellas Francia, México. ¿En qué momento en su historia siente usted que ha hecho su mejor trabajo como coach en el ámbito internacional?
If I understood your question, my answer would be that I don't think there was any single event. I think it's been a process. For many years, coaches from America went all over the world doing clinics. And I think interest grew, knowledge of the game grew to the point where now, just like we have great players all over the world, there are great coaches all over the world. They're not just in America. So it grew. And with that, countries fell in love with the game, and it's progressed to the point it is today, but it's been a process. It wasn't one game here or there, one player. Everything just built on each event, each clinic, each time somebody developed a relationship.
Bueno, realmente si entendí bien su pregunta, durante muchos años nosotros hemos tenido a muchos entrenadores, muchos coaches y a muchos jugadores por todo el mundo ofreciendo clínicas y trabajando, pero esto no es un evento o un solo juego, realmente es un proceso, y el juego de básquetbol es un juego que con el tiempo se ha vuelto un juego internacional. Tenemos jugadores de todo el mundo y hemos estado aprendiendo, y es un juego que ha ido creciendo.
Second row on the right.
Good afternoon, Coach. Carlos Daniel Salgado from El Universal newspaper. Even though there's still a long way to go in the season, the Spurs are not used to being out of a playoff spot. Right now, you are. So how do you deal with that, or how do you handle that pressure? Because it seems like Spurs fans are relying on your experience to get out of that and make it to the playoffs.
Bueno, realmente todavía falta mucho para llegar a las finales, pero los Spurs no están en el lugar en donde quisieran. Obviamente los Spurs están esperando su experiencia y para salir adelante, pero ¿qué nos puede decir al respecto?
The approach to the season, both before and during, is no different than any other year. The only difference is that, we have a losing record, we haven't played very well. But that doesn't change anything that we're going to do. Pressure is not something that you feel. I think it's something that people assume you feel. But this is our job, just like you all are doing your job right now. So what you do about it is you go back to work and you live with the results.
Bueno, realmente, ¿cuál es nuestro enfoque de la temporada? Pues es igual que en las temporadas pasadas o en las futuras, no hay ninguna diferencia. Tenemos que jugar bien. La presión se siente, pero es como cualquier trabajo. Su trabajo también requiere de mucha presión y vamos a trabajar para hacer un excelente desempeño.
Front row, middle. Dwayne, go ahead, please.
Yes, Dwayne Rankin, Arizona Republic. Coach, Monty has said throughout the year he's a little gray on the challenge rule, just trying to figure it out. Just what's your thoughts on the challenge rule?
I agree with my good friend Monty. I have no clue. I don't know when to challenge. I look at my bench. Can we challenge that? Should I challenge that? Did you see what happened? There's no time to get it right unless something is pretty darn obvious. But in general, I don't get it.
No, realmente lo que usted mencionó, pues tampoco lo entiendo. ¿Cuáles son los retos que se estuvo hablando en la duela? No entendí a qué se refiere.
Final question. Let's go third row on the left, please.
Hi, Coach. Moisés Mendoza, Sum 95. What are your thoughts on Mexico Capitanes being added to the G League?
Coach, ¿me puede dar por favor?
I think I figured that out by now. That's why we're losing.
Por eso estamos perdiendo, porque todavía no entendía que me tenía que esperar a la traductora. Pero bueno, ¿cuál es su opinión y qué piensas sobre los capitanes?
I think it's a great first step. You know, it's logical. I think it's wise, makes sense. Let's see how it goes.
Realmente creo que es un excelente primer paso, tiene sentido, es lógico, veamos qué sucede.
Thank you, Coach.
Gracias, Coach.